Stories and how we tell them as old as man's existence. From drawings in caves to hieroglyphics and petroglyphs, the oldest forms of storytelling were visual. Our great ancestors used stones, clay, wood to create art, to communicate and pass down information down to us about life and survival. Stories are how we connect and make sense of the world around us. It's what we tell ourselves about the past and how we project into the future. In fact, we think and we talk in stories. It's what we tell ourselves when we are down to our wits. It's also what we tell ourselves when we are optimistic about life and full of hope. The greatest lessons that have shaped us have come from stories, the movies we watch.
You can see 8 moves ahead. You could win at Rabishin. You could be the best in all Uganda. Do you know what that would mean for Katwe? Perhaps one day an international champion.
Coach, why are you shining me?
Me, I'm not shining you. What is preventing you from being a grandmaster?
I do not know about being a grandmaster.
Sometimes the place you are used to is not the place you belong. You belong where you believe you belong. Where is that for you, Fiona?
You'll excel at a lot of things, just not this. I don't want you out here shooting this ball around all day and night, all right?
All right.
Okay? All right, go ahead. Hey. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Have you ever wondered why stories are so powerful? I believe it's because it connects to something deep inside of us, yearning to be filled. And just like someone said, listen and you would realize that we are made not from atoms or cells, we are made from stories. We're all searching for something, and sometimes stories are the answers to them. So what's my story? A couple of years ago, I picked up a camera, and for me, it was really about the fact that I wanted to tell a story. The camera is simply just a tool, a medium of expression, because a lot of times I have a lot to say, and the camera, with my creativity, helps me tell them. I believe in the power of stories. We entire human stories. It's what connects us, and that is what I hope to do with my work. That I tell stories that inspire, that uplift the human spirit, and I believe by doing that, someone else can be inspired. Stories are never-ending journeys. We all have stories waiting to be told, but the most important part in telling our stories is that we tell them authentically. We must tell our stories in ways that first inspire us before we can have a chance at inspiring the rest of the world. As an African, this is particularly important to me because as Africans, we have a role to play in this. Much of our stories that have been told about Africa have been told by people other than us. And sometimes the stories that are being told are narrated in ways that do not accurately represent who we really are. We must not be afraid to put our values and our culture at the forefront of our stories. No one can tell our stories better than we can. Hence, we must maximize every opportunity to tell them. And when we do, we must tell them with hope. We must tell them with dignity, pride, and purpose. So, here's what I'd love you to do. Tell the stories that have been growing in your heart. Tell the tales that speak deeply to you. The one that wakes you up in the morning, or the one that pops in your head during your daily commute. Tell us how you fell in love, right?
I love you, Jeff.
Don't you do that. Don't you say your goodbyes. Not yet. Not this night. Do you understand me?
I'm so cold.
Listen, Rose. You're gonna get out of here. You're gonna go on. And you're gonna make lots of babies. And you're gonna watch them grow. You're gonna die an old lady, warm in her bed.
Tell us how you lost your mom or your dad and somehow it changed your world forever. Tell us how you went to hell and somehow found your way back. Tell us how you lost hope in yourself and even the world, but somehow found the courage to get back up. And tell the stories of the mountains you climbed, because your words could become a page in someone else's survival guide. Tell it in grand ways and tell it in little ways. But when you do, tell it with inspiration. Just like Alex L. said, you're not a victim for sharing your story. You're a survivor setting the world on fire with your truth. And you never know who needs your light, your warmth, or your radiant courage. The courage it takes for you to share your story might be the very thing that someone else needs to open your heart to hope. So, what you gonna do?